It does.
All right, ready? Hello, everyone. Welcome to Brave Storytime. My name is Lisa Karasek. I am the moderator for Brave Healer Productions Brave Storytime. And joining me today is the fabulous Heidi MacAlpine. And she's going to be reading her chapter with us today live from Brave Kids Volume 1. And her chapter is 22. What's the title again? Something monkey brain. I'm sorry, I forgot.
Monkey Brain Survival Guide, How to Cope with Sensory Overload.
That's there we go. All righty. So I know you've done Brave Storytime already once, and you're an author in a few of the Brave Healer Productions collaborations, but this one is different. This is a children's book, a children's story. You wrote a chapter, a children's story. The theme of the book is, remind us.
So the theme is how to cope with sensory overload. And I call it monkey brain. What?
I meant the theme of the book overall, what the goal was for each chapter in the book. Because I know there was a specific theme.
Oh, so the theme is surviving. It's coping. And the theme of the book is how to be brave in spite of whatever challenges come our way. So how to cope in different situations for different age ranges. It's for children 5 to 12. So there's different things that happen in different stages of that lifespan.
Right. And so your chapter, how did you come to be in this book?
How did I come to be? Laura had Laura from Brave Healer Productions had mentioned she was looking for a children's book. I think I joined the Writers Club initially, and then I saw her advertise for different things that she collaborates with to connect to the community and to different types of communities, and learn from those communities to be able to spread brave words, whether it's through poetry, through writing books, storytelling, whatever that might be, but it's really pen to paper and how that works to help transform people and to cope and to deal and to connect and to communicate and to get that out into the world.
Beautiful. She definitely has a flair for that. So why did you want to be in this book? Why did you want to write your chapter?
Great question. I have been an occupational therapist for 30 plus years. I've worked with children for the majority of those years. And then I started doing things within the community to start working with parents, caregivers, and different professionals to better understand different challenges and disabilities. Because, over the last few years, we really talked about cultural sensitivities and integration and trying to connect to people of differences and to respect people of differences. I think that's been a challenge in the world forever, but it came to fruition more prior to COVID. I think it was really, there's a lot going on in the world. So I wanted to share my words on how I worked with different children and how I worked with family members on coping and dealing with being different and sensory overload. You don't have to have a diagnosis to have sensory overload. So I think the world is a busy place and we're challenged constantly, depending on the stages of life that we're going through and what we're confronted with, whether that happens to be with the loss of someone we loved, or whether it's dealing with a disability, or whether it's dealing with a disorder, or whether it's dealing with changes in life. I think everybody copes differently and not everybody's given tools. So I wanted to share the tools that I've shared with my students and clients over the years. And I think it was just such an important time during COVID to get those words out.
Yeah, unfortunately, as adults, we're sometimes forced to, do it in hindsight, where as children, they get to receive, be gifted these tools and learn how to move forward with it. And it eventually, hopefully, becomes preventative. What a beautiful gift. Oh, that's awesome.
I think the earlier you learn, the better off you are. And
Definitely.
not everybody learns it from their upbringing, or you learn different strategies that you learn as an adult isn't working anymore. It's not helping me. It's not benefiting me. I'm not moving forward. I'm stuck. And a lot of times in trauma that happens, and a trauma doesn't have to be, there's different levels of trauma. So I think, everybody's dealing with some sort of trauma, and COVID being one of those. We're all learning to adapt and gain skills to be able to do the things that we need, love, and want to do. And as an occupational therapist, we consider that an occupation. So whether you're a child and you're 5 and you're learning to connect with other people, gain friendships, learn. If you're not coping in a way that helps you to learn, then you're not moving forward. So that's why I wanted to get these brave words out earlier.
Wonderful. Yeah. Each experience brings a different lesson. Exactly. It's not that they don't always work or work again. It's just you need new skills, new experiences, new lessons. Exactly. So how did it feel writing your chapter, knowing that this was going to help that particular audience that you're reaching for?
I think because I was passionate about it, and I was motivated, and I had a support system. And I think that's big, whether you're writing, whether you're going through a change, support is key. So I like the idea that these were stories that families could read at night, and everyone could learn this. The siblings could learn as they're reading the story, the parents can learn, the child can learn. It can create an opportunity for a discussion and talk about things in an indirect way through a character, instead of saying that's me and the finger being pointed at you. It's more the character and what the character goes through. I think, even in a movie, you learn about yourself and about different ways without somebody pointing the finger and telling you you're doing this. I think you gain more knowledge from an indirect way sometimes. So I think my passion really wanted me to finish this story. There are times where I said, why am I doing this? Because it's a different approach to talk from a child's point of view versus an adult's point of view.
I love it. Perfect. All righty. Are you ready to read your chapter?
I am ready. I am very ready. So I'm ready to read these brave words to the world. Tell me when I can. We're ready now? Okay. So the Monkey Brain Survival Guide, How to Cope with Sensory Overload. Why do I dread new adventures? It can put me in a fast, swirling tailspin. My mind becomes distracted and scrambled with different thoughts flying in all directions, and I become uneasy and queasy. I often wonder if I'm the only 10-year-old who feels this way. Oh, I forgot. My name is Shepherd, or Shep for short. My Einstein hairstyle, wavy and all over the place, and firecracker red hair fits my personality and makes me stand out in a crowd. I'm electric, wazam. I enter a room like lightning, and I move around like a monkey swinging from tree to tree. Tomorrow is the day. We'll be taking off for vacation. I can't stop thinking about vacation. Top Story Mania, Toy Story Mania, Big Thunder Mountain Railroad, Pirates of the Caribbean. Monkey brain takes over. Thump, 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 thump. My heart is beating as fast as ticking on my clock on the bedroom wall. The glow of the clock seems brighter, and I yank the covers over my head. I just want it to be morning. Monkey brain is making it impossible to sleep. I feel the warmth of the sun peeking through my curtain. Vacation! I leap out of bed. I feel my feet slap the cold, smooth wooden floor as I race to the bathroom to pee and get ready for our big adventure. The queasiness in my stomach is back as I think about everything. I'll need the survival guide for this adventure. Wham! I'm running from the bathroom to the kitchen to my older sister Krista's room with my arms up in the air and my body tipping from side to side like an airplane taking off. Vroom! My fear is becoming pushy, and monkey brain seems to be creeping into my mind and scrambling my thoughts. Before I know it, my mom traps me in a big bear hug as I turn the corner of the kitchen counter. Suddenly, I think of an oversized red balloon deflating, and the pressure from her hug seems to slow my Ferrari engine down to Volkswagen speed. I can smell the lavender and the softness of her silk pajamas on my cheek and her heart pumping with my heart. In a gentle, soothing voice, she says, "Use your lazy 8 tool." I smile and imagine being confused, numero ocho, number 8 on its side, slowly becoming aware, brave, and standing tall with each breath. I feel the tip of her finger gently guiding and tracing a lazy 8 in the air with my pointer finger 5 times. The lazy 8 is one of the 3 T's that my occupational therapist nationally taught me in school. The 3 T's stand for taking time, tracking the threat, and talking it out. After the count of 5, I'm out of my mom's arms, sitting on the cool tile, and I feel calmer and more confident and taller as I trace the last 5 breaths on my freckled and pale left arm. My lazy 8 is now more alert and focused, and my body is still and aware of itself in space with ease. Thanks, Mom. You're the best, I say. Numero uno, number 1 of the survival guide has saved the day. Boy, I'm so lucky I have my family and Ashley to guide me with their in the toolbox. And now in my toolbox, which is actually my backpack. I wonder how many other kids and parents use this tool for survival like me. I review everything on my checklist, the belongings in my backpack that'll stop the sensory overload and keep me calm. I feel a sense of relief as I toss my survival backpack over my shoulder and run for the front door. I named my backpack I Spy Survival Backpack because I'm always searching inside for a tool that'll guide me to the right path or choice. Honk, honk! The sound of the taxi excites me once more, and guess what? Monkey brain! I'm running ahead of my family, and before I know it, I'm bouncing on the soft seat of my limousine. I stop in air as I feel a light, inviting tap on my shoulder and turn to see my big sister, Carrie, forming the letter L with her lips. I hear her strong, caring voice repeating numero uno, survival tool, lazy 8, lazy 8. My mom, dad, and Carrie all smile at me. It'll help all of us survive and enjoy our vacation. My family and these tools make me feel confident and brave. I've got this. I can hear my breath going in and out 4 times as I trace the lazy 8 on the velvety sea green seat of my limousine. After what seems like a car ride across the country, I found myself bouncing on the seats and poking my sister in excitement. Monkey brain, beep, beep, honk, honk, vroom. I can sense the fast and busy movements around us, especially the rumble of the 747 jets. There are so many people walking in and out of the airport, and the smell of gasoline and car fumes is choking me. Barf! I grab my survival backpack and explore the choices on my 3 T's list. Preparing for new adventures and vacations seems easier once I use the 3 T's. Or tornado suddenly pops into my mind and I'm alert like a German shepherd on guard duty. Have you ever felt this way before? I woke up before my alarm clock a-doodles. I could sense the sun's brightness and heat sliding through my bedroom window to greet me hello. I immediately thought of my vacation and reached down beside my bed and took out my pirate action figure from my backpack. I just wanted to focus on my vacation a little longer and all fun I had with my family. Thanks to my survival guide and the 3 T's for coming to the rescue. The late plane ride home seemed to zap my energy, and I was still feeling tired. I definitely wasn't ready for back to school. Pirates of the Caribbean, my favorite Disney ride. Swish! I'm excited to tell Jose and the class about my vacation. Good morning, students. How was your vacation? Asked Mrs. Rayner. Who would like to share something about their vacation? Zing! My arm is up before I know it, and my butt is dancing on my seat. Raymond? Rats, wiggle, 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 stomp, 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 stomp. My body is humming like a Ferrari engine again. Jose, my best friend, thinks I have way too much energy and is the one who has nicknamed me Sombrero de Mono, which means brain of a monkey in Spanish. He seems to understand me and repeats Cerebro de Mono with a big smile and a Spanish accent while wrapping his arm around my neck. It slows me down just enough to see his finger point into my backpack. I start to breathe and trace the number 8 sitting up instead of lying down on the top of my cold wooden desk. Shepherd, would you like to share about vacation? Asked Mrs. Rayner. I can't wait to share what's in my spy survival backpack. I confidently stand as I walk to the front of the class. I picture an 8 that has found his way out of a tailspin with his few survival tools and no longer lying down. So it's about a 10-year-old boy who has monkey brain, has sensory overload frequently. The transition from home to vacation is challenging for a lot of kids, but for somebody who experiences it more than usual, it's challenging for not only the child, but the family. So the transitions from home to vacation, from vacation to home, from home to school, from school and waiting to share about your story is challenging. So the lazy 8 breathing technique I love to share, and using a sensory backpack with a couple of different tools to choose from, because children, and I think people in general, love choices. They don't want to feel they have to use one thing, and not every situation is the same. So that's what I liked about this story.
And is there a tool to read?
Yes, it's the lazy 8 breathing technique. And I think in the back they used a video, or they can go to my website, Align OT, and I share about that.
Why don't you read the tool?
But and I what?
Go ahead and read the tool, part of the book.
Oh, the tool. So what he did is he traced the lazy 8, and it's a form of kinesthetic and proprioceptive awareness. So it slows your thinking down because you're pressing on a material. Some people use sand and do that figure 8. So I'm going to put my finger in the air. He uses his pointer finger in the center of a infinity sign. So the lazy 8, it's an 8 on its side. So I start in the middle of the lazy 8, and you take a deep breath in. It can be for 3 breaths, 4 breaths, but you take a deep breath in, you inhale, and you start to the left of the top of the lazy 8 and move around as you count to 3 or 4 or 5. When you get to the center, then you exhale and go to the right and come around. So I don't know if you want everybody to practice, if you want to practice with me, or if you feel that that's enough, you tell me.
You're fine. I was just wondering if you wanted to read that section of the book, that section of your chapter.
Okay, so there is a section, there's a couple of times where he uses it. One is where he's so excited about vacation, and his mom stops him coming around the corner and gives him a big bear hug, which is considered proprioceptive input. They say if you hug for 8 seconds or more, it calms your nervous system down. So that's a tool. You can use deep pressure with a hug. Once he's slowed down his system a little bit, she reminds him so that he becomes more independent to use that lazy 8 technique. And she traces it with him by putting her finger over. So it's over his finger, and then starts it by giving him that pressure with her finger to formulate that lazy 8. And then he uses the limousine seat and traces it on the seat and uses pressure to do that lazy 8 to slow him down and to remind him of the shape of the lazy 8.
Okay.
So that
Got it.
technique is utilized a couple of times. And then his friends. So it's about, we talked earlier about community and how community can help us to remind us about ways that we can be our best self. So I want to put it that way. So it was his mom and his family, his sister on the way to vacation, and then his friend in the classroom. I think if everybody had a friend like that, we'd be better off. Instead of criticizing people and judging people for doing things, I think we need to educate classrooms and educate families to be able to use simple tools and to remind them that everybody's different and everybody reacts different to things. So that's what I'm hoping with this Brave book.
Beautiful. Awesome. Okay, I understand now. Thank you. So reading the chapter just now and explaining everything you went through, how do you feel? How do you feel giving that to the audience?
It just expands my energy and fuels me more and become more passionate about sharing these tools. I hope that there's someone out there that says, that's not a bad idea. I haven't thought of that tool. I haven't heard of that tool. I'm either going to buy this book and read this to my child or his classroom, which I'm going to be doing is reading it to different classrooms, going to libraries and sharing some of these tools. So I think there's a lot of different tools in this book. Mine is just one of them that I feel can benefit so many people. So I just feel more fuel to share more and to share more tools. And I'm here for parents. They can come to my website. They can schedule an appointment on Calendly if they go to my website just to learn more.
Awesome. So just to let everyone know, all of Heidi's information, how to reach her, how to connect with her, how to contact her, all of that information is going to be in the show notes on YouTube. And for the Facebook, Heidi, when we're finished, go back in and respond to people's comments, answer any questions, and go ahead and put your information there for everyone as well. So thank you.
Sure.
Do you have anything else, any last thing that you want to say before we stop the recording? Is there anything else you want to share?
I think what's important is to just say to the audience, if you're a parent, a caregiver, a teacher who's feeling lost and you're not alone, there are things out there. And I think especially during COVID, so many people feel isolated and alone. And I can't imagine what it felt like to have children home and to teach them online and have to work with this all on your own. I give you credit, bravo to you. I think it's important to pat yourself on the back because I was once a parent. Yeah, I am a parent, but to young children, I know what that's like. So reach out, you're not alone, and there's people that care.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Heidi, for your brave words, for your chapter, for your gift to the world. Again, this is Lisa Karasek, and this was Brave Storytime with Heidi MacAlpine. See you next time, everyone.